Hey cats, it's your midsole man EDDBUD here. Several years ago I did a sizing guide across all the different running shoe manufacturers. It was a very well received video, but as time moves on some of the sizing of the brands has changed. So here's my updated running shoe sizing guide for you in 2025. Thanks for tuning in, people, always appreciated. If you've yet to do so, please hit that subscribe button, it really does help out. Okay, I'm typically a UK 11 or a US 12 in running shoes. I often measure my right foot actually, that is slightly longer than my left. And most of the time I'll actually go with the centimetre sizing rather than actual UK or US sizing. It just seems to be a little bit more accurate and a little bit more reliable. Okay, we'll kick off with Nike first. I typically go for a UK 11 in Nike shoes. That very rarely lets me down. I was intrigued a while ago if I could get away with a 10.5. I bought a pair of the Alphafly 3s in a 10.5, and actually the answer is yes, I can absolutely run in those. In fact, I ran a marathon in that pair and it was absolutely fine. Possibly one of the best fitting shoes I've got. I found that the only real difference between a 10.5 and an 11 is actually the upper. It's slightly more spacious in the forefoot area. Lengthwise there appeared to be almost no difference whatsoever. When you go up to an 11.5 in Nike shoes, there's a quite substantial weight increase. The upper's much more generous. I mean, the difference is so small between a 10.5 and an 11, you might actually miss it. All other shoes I've picked up from Nike are pretty much perfect for me in a UK 11, so they're pretty much true to size, I think, if that's what you're looking for. Now, SAUCONY is a brand that I've been very consistent in terms of sizing right across the whole length of the channel, really. I remember picking up some pairs in 2020, and I would suggest they're still true to size now. I've had no sizing issues whatsoever with SAUCONY. I would suggest going true to size pretty much every single model that I've tried from them. You've got the classic like thumbs width at the front, and that's what you need, right? So true to size on SAUCONY shoes, no real change. Now Puma is an interesting one. I can't suggest always going true to size with them. A lot of people have found some of the daily shoes actually come in a little bit long. There's a little bit of extra length there, so you might be able to go down half a size. Shoes like this though, the Fast R3, I'd suggest going true to size. There's a very fitting upper here. You don't need to go down a half size. It's not really going to benefit you at all. Most models now though from Puma, I would suggest are true to size. They seem to be using a slightly different last. It's a little bit more consistent. The Deviate Nitro 3 or the Elite version, definitely go true to size on that. Same really with the Mag Max and the Forever Run Nitro 2. So Puma mainly true to size. If you can try them on foot though, it might be that you can get away with a half size on some models, but certainly this one, if you get a chance to get it, go true to size. We're looking at Adidas next, and this is where it gets a little bit odd actually. I'd say the Primex 3 Strung is about as true to size and consistent as you're going to get size wise. No need to go up or down a half size in these. I would suggest perhaps you could have got away with a half size down in the original version of this shoe, but the Adizero series in general is all over the shop in terms of sizing. The Takumi Sen 11 right now fits a little bit snug. I think you might want to go up a half size. Same with the Adios Pro 4. I know many people have said it does feel a little bit snug. I think it's down to that upper really. It's so simple, so flexible. If you've got a wider foot, certainly a half size up might benefit you on those. When you look at Adidas sizing, they actually say that a UK 11 is a US 11.5. So it kind of works out really when you think about it. That would explain the slightly short nature of some models, but not all. The Adios 9 for me oddly feels very true to size, perfect really. I think it's because it's more of a sort of daily type upper on that one. The Boston 13 I found was fine, true to size. There's even wide versions of that if you need it. I think that's down to the padded tongue and the more trainer-like general fit. So with Adidas, do be careful on sizing. If you can, try before you buy. Asics are another odd one. Wow, this shoe is so light. I was through it at the camera then. The Metaspeed series has always been a little bit odd, very generous in the forefoot area. I found found that on some of those I could go down a half size and they were absolutely fine. Though I think if you're going to run a marathon, perhaps in the Metaspeed Sky Tokyo or the Edge Tokyo, then you might want to go up a half size anyway, just to allow for foot swelling. There's a few suggestions from people that you could probably go down a half size in the Mega Blast. I'm finding it kind of okay, true to size really, especially now it's getting colder and I'm wearing some of those thicker socks out there. It's pretty much spot on, true to size. Though the Super Blast 2 I did find was perfect a half size down. So yeah, whether this helps you at all, I don't know. It might just like confuse you even more. Another one I found true to size is that Sonic Blast. I can't see why anybody would want to go down a half size in this one. It's pretty much perfect true to size. The Nimbus and the Cumulus as well all seem to have more traditional sizing, a bit more conventional I suppose, and that's the same for the Fuji Light and the Fuji Speed series as well, those trail offerings from Asics. So again, with Asics you may want to try before you buy, but sometimes really difficult to do, isn't it? When you've got shoes like the Mega Blast and the Super Blast, they just sell out almost immediately when they come online, and they're expensive as well. You can't just put like 2 pairs in and send one back. That's a lot of money, you know, to gamble with. HOKA shoes seem to have gravitated towards a more traditional fit over the last few years. Actually, in fact, since they went to just HOKA rather than HOKA One. The upper seemed a bit more refined now. I mean, I've tested out the Rock X2, Silo X1 and the Skyward X. They were all fine, true to size for me. I can't see why anybody would want to go up a half size. Now, it used to be the case. I remember in the first couple of HOKA shoes I bought back in 2020, you very much needed to go up a half size in those. Perhaps it's down to a change in factories, you know, like design personnel or something, but definitely more true to size than they used to be. New Balance is a brand that I can wholeheartedly say you probably want to go up a half size, like go with the US sizing on those rather than the UK sizing. Just seems to be somewhere in the middle of the two, and that's going back some time as well. Only the Rebel 4 and 5 seem to be a little bit more true to size to me. If you're doing long distance events and training, well, maybe you want that extra little bit of room anyway. I always found like the 1080 from New Balance was a shoe that felt better a half size up. Same with the SC Trainer as well. I'm not a big fan of that one. A very quick mention to MIZUNO. I've only tried a few of their shoes out over the years. The last couple of MIZUNO models I've tried out certainly feel more true to size. I wouldn't suggest you need to go up a half size in those. In fact, Neo Vista 2 was very generous in the upper. I could have gone down a half size in that. I think that's probably the case for most knit-like uppers on trainers that I've tried. Okay, I think that's all the key brands I've gone through there. Whistle-stop tour for you. Hope this helps you out. If it does, please post in the comments. It might be that another viewer can really benefit from your experience in a particular manufacturer's shoe. Quick musical interlude for you. New album, it appears, from the Divine Comedy. Haven't heard any of their stuff for ages. It's called Rainy Sunday Afternoon. Really like the title track on this one. It's got this very sort of chimey, cutting piano phrase that goes on through the whole thing. Wonderful backing vocals a bit later on as well. The track gets bigger and more over the top as it goes on, but in a good way. It's the sort of song that I can imagine listening to on a rainy Sunday afternoon in Bridport or maybe at West Bay, maybe eating some chips, nice sort of milky, sugary tea, and just looking at the rain outside and being thankful that I'm indoors in the dry. Rainy Sunday Afternoon by the Divine Comedy. Thanks for tuning in, people. Always appreciated. Hit that subscribe button if you haven't, because loads of you haven't done so. Also give this video a thumbs up, like, and drop us a comment for the algorithm. My name's EDDBUD, and I'll be seeing you